Hello, I'm Mary Lamphere, Life Balance Coach, and I have the privilege and honor today to interview Kelly O'Brien Corasanti, owner of Studio 8 Fitness Incorporated, a personal training and life transformation studio located in Clinton, New York. Kelly holds a master's degree in counseling education and certifications in personal training and youth fitness. She's the author of Kelly's Quips, Happy Thoughts for Busy People. Since 2010, Kelly has been a life coach with the Finding My Way Back to Me program. Kelly also coaches fitness professionals around the world for the Todd Durkin Mastermind Group. Thank you again, Kelly, for this opportunity.
Thank you, Mary.
Kelly, am I correct that you've been a personal trainer for 9 years and a life coach for the past 4 years?
That's correct. That's correct. It's amazing how quickly that goes by.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I'm curious, what brought you to coaching?
I think coaching comes to you. I don't think it's something that you go to find. And it starts with your desire to reach outward and help people. And that's a basic seed that has to be there in order for it to grow. The skills of being a teacher and being someone who has a mission to teach, support, inspire, and support others as they grow seem to just coalesce into this coaching phenomenon. Opportunity, really.
Right. That's great. So how does your profession of personal trainer and life coach, how are they complementing one another?
It's a great question, and I think that's an important question. In the past, personal training has always been considered sort of you get out of school and you don't know what else to do with your life, and, you might as well help people push weight for a little while and, make a minimum wage. That was the idea of personal training in the past. But what's happened in the course of the past decade is that people recognize that when someone pays attention, not just to the physical, but also to the mental and spiritual, that a lot more can happen. In fact, it becomes transformative. And that combination and inevitable connection of mind, body, and spirit requires some ability to massage that and bring out the best in people. Personal training offers a perfect opportunity for that because you can't move your body without moving your mind, and you can't move your mind without moving your spirit. And so it's a combination of all of those things. And that's where personal training has evolved and continues to evolve. And the people that I coach in the mastermind group and the people that are in my network of fitness professionals see personal training on a much greater level. In fact, as you sit here in my studio, you'll see there are no weights to push, very few, no machines and very few weights, because it's really about moving you on all three levels.
Oh, I like that. That is a great analogy of the mind, body, and spirit, and how you are implementing that with the life coaching and also with the personal training. Thank you. I know you work both with individuals and in groups in both the personal training and life coaching. Can you share some pros and cons of that?
Sure. Anytime you work one-on-one with somebody, they get your full attention, and that's a great pro. Everybody needs attention, and everybody seeks it in their own way, but everybody needs to be seen in their brightness, in their light, in their significance. And getting the chance to work with somebody one-on-one allows you to become that mirror for them, to be able to see what their potential is and shine that back to them. That allows them to open up their perspectives and ideas, and what they may never have considered before suddenly becomes possible. And so working one-on-one is a great opportunity to do that. The downside of that is that it can get very deep, it can get very heavy, it can get very dry if you're not careful. And so a benefit to working with groups is that it keeps it moving all the time. And sometimes the unwritten or unspoken challenge of seeing what somebody else can do can also motivate you to become more. And so when you're in a group, it gives you the opportunity to see what others are doing and to challenge that in your mind to decide where you fit in relation to that. The act of working together as a community, I think, is extremely important for the human experience. So working in a small group gives you the chance to bind and bond together as a community and help and support each other. So those are some of the benefits of working in a small group. The downside of that is your attention can only be spread in so many directions and be on that very deep level. So, if you're working in a small group, you're losing some of that one-on-one attention and detail that you would get in a one-on-one session. So there's pros and cons to both.
Do you see the benefit of your different clients networking with one another and being support outside of the times that they're together
That
in their
is
groups?
such an important part for me. I often think that people come to Studio 8 and they think it's going to be, this chance to sweat and, work up their energy and leave. And my vision is so much broader than that. The important thing is, yes, that they're getting fit and feeling good physically, but the networking with each other is what creates the connection that makes them want to keep doing it. And so that network of reaching out to others, getting to know other people, again, I think that's an integral part of the human experience. Connection and love is one of our basic human needs. And you find that in all different spaces, but it's a great opportunity to find it in a space where everybody's on the same page and working toward the same similar goals of feeling better, being healthier, looking good, feeling good, all of those things creates a natural network.
And complements that mind, body, and soul aim that you have.
Absolutely,
That's
absolutely,
wonderful.
just an integral part of it.
That's wonderful. I like that that you shared those pros and cons, and to be able to see it in a lot of different ways and angles. What would you have a most powerful question that you ask your clients?
That was an interesting question when you sent that to me, and I was thinking, is there ever a most powerful? I think questions are powerful. And the more questions you can ask, the more the person internalizes the thought process. It's one thing to be lectured to and to be told, you can gather pieces from that, but it's another when you have to come up with the answers. So questions in general are powerful, and as a coach on any level, the more questions you can ask, the better the answers and the better the result will become. So is there a most powerful one? I believe in each person's situation there is probably a pivotal question that will change something in them. And the trick and the skill of becoming a coach is listening, hearing, and being ready to ask the question that will transform them. And that varies from person to person and situation to situation.
So that powerful listening, that tool, keep that real handy in your coach toolbox.
Yeah, it is the tool.
What are some top recommendations you would give to new coaches?
Well, taking off on our last comment, practice becoming a listener. It is really the integral piece of becoming a good coach. God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. There's the quote, right?
Yes.
We should listen much more than we speak, and giving people a chance to come up with their solutions means you have to listen and let them talk it through. So developing better listening skills, and there is never a moment when you say you are done with that. It requires constant awareness of it and constant growth in that area. As you become a better listener, you become a better reader of what they're saying. Most often what they're saying is a verbal cover for what the deeper meaning is. And as you practice listening, you begin to take the words and see what's underneath them. So that becomes another piece to coaching, and another important thing is start to look for what isn't being said. That's that's very important.
It is. That's key. And I like the analogy of God giving us two ears and one mouth. I've used that. And another student also said when she's coaching using Skype phone, she will actually hold her lips to be more mindful of listening. It is key.
It is.
It
It
is.
is.
It is. Kelly, last October you were invited to speak on TED Talks in when they came to Utica. I'm curious, how did that come about, and how was that experience for you?
You'll notice right here on my
Okay.
desk is my photo of that moment. I'll be perfectly honest. That was one of the absolute highlights of my life to date. I have followed TED Talks for more than a decade. They are just something that ends up in my inbox, and I've listened to them for years. When the opportunity arose to present here in Utica, I jumped on it and was fortunate enough to be chosen. I'll tell you why it was so important to me. One, because it was something I had followed for so long that to actually put myself in that flow of TED seemed just monumental to me. I mean, I was just very proud and very humbled by that. But I also think that the idea of having a message that can be shared in minutes but have an impact is very powerful. And the message I gave was about something that I speak about every day, posture, and how that is a pivotal piece of our life. And everyone has something that means something to them that they could share in minutes, that could make somebody think or make somebody change their mind or challenge them to see something different. And that's what TED Talks were designed to do. And to have been invited and have the opportunity to speak as part of that, it was an incredible moment. I'll always be very proud of that, and I'm very, very grateful for that opportunity.
Well, I watched it. It was a wonderful speech you gave.
Mm-hmm.
It gives us coaches a great resource to offer to clients. TED Talks, whether it's yours and others, it's a fabulous service that they're doing.
It
So
sure is.
I'm
It
so
sure is.
glad that you were rewarded with that opportunity
Thank you.
and had that experience.
Thank you. So grateful for it.
Do you have a source of ongoing learning that would helps you to stay feeling fresh and with your coaching practice? Do you have any
do.
recommendations of what you do?
I do. You have to keep fresh. There's no should about that. It's a must.
Mm-hmm.
Things change, ideas develop, people come up with new ideas that need to be considered, and part of all of our life is looking at the information that's out there around us and pulling the pieces that resonate with us in some way. And that's how we develop our voice in the world, whatever that voice is, as a coach, trainer, a teacher, whatever it might be. Looking out there for what's out there and pulling the pieces that are important. So Jack Canfield has always been an inspiration to me, and we have a mutual friend, Teresa Huggins, who's good friends and a coach for him, has been a coach for him. So that is a piece that has, I actually listened to Jack Canfield. He probably wouldn't be happy to hear this, but back when I was in high school, he was some of the first motivational coaching programs that I ever listened to. And my dad introduced me to him. So that's been a piece, and I listen and I get all kinds of things from him. So I learn a lot from him. But in addition to that, I actually enrolled recently in a strategic intervention coaching program with Tony Robbins.
Mm-hmm.
I followed Tony for years as well, and I incorporate a lot of what he does and continue to evolve as a strategic intervention coach through his program. And I hope to get that certification down the road and have that as another piece to add to my things that I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm constantly sifting and sorting and reaching out for new pieces that I can learn and improve my skill set. And then also, TED Talks, that's a great resource. There's many life coaches out there that I subscribe to, and I get their different pieces of information as well. So constantly learning.
Right. There's so much out there. I just enjoyed a week of 10 days of the Hay House
Oh yeah,
Summit.
with Louisa.
And so
Beautiful.
they had, I mean, you had to take a day off from work to be able to just drink in all that they had. So there's just so many valuable resources.
Yes,
So
there
thank you
are.
for sharing what you find are inspirational to you.
Soon there'll be what I watch from you.
Uh,
I'll
Yes,
add yours to
yes.
my repertoire.
Blogs and
Yes.
just recordings and
Yes.
all of those types of things. This hopefully will be recorded and be able to be on YouTube and all of that. So it's great. It's great resources that are out there.
Yes, yes. And never stop reaching for them.
Thank you. No, never stop learning.
Right.
Never stop learning.
Right.
Kelly, where would you like to be in 5 years?
In 5 years, I will be in an expanded space in terms of the brick and mortar facility that I'm in. We're in the process right now of making that happen. We're going to expand because we want to include an educational component. We're going to open the Studio 8 Academy, which will be a place where people can come to get certification credits for different programs that they're in and different certifications that they hold and licenses. So that's a piece that's in the works. So I will be an owner of a little bit larger facility, but my goal then is to have that running on its own because I intend to go out and become more active in the world of presenting and doing presentations around the world.
Oh, that's great. That's
Yeah.
great. Well, I know two friends of mine come here to Studio A, and I've seen how their lives have been transformed in the mind, body, and soul. And Kelly, it's just been my honor and privilege to be able to meet you and interview you, and I thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Mary. I appreciate you coming in and doing this. Good luck to you.
Thank you. Did it get?
That's recording.
It is.